going on to the anniversary now. So 2025, you have a 40th anniversary of the band. And as I mentioned earlier, you've been in the band going on 31 years. And, we're going to go to a little history lesson here for a minute. What was it like to go into that situation when you recorded Master of the Rings? I know it's a pretty crazy story. I mean, I've talked to Mikey about it before, the making of that album. But for you, being the new guy in the band, being, what I would probably say they were coming off of the least amount of success that they've had. What was that situation like for you, and how did you guys get through that?
Well, I was quite aware that I stepped into big shoes, put it that way. So that did not make my life actually easier. So it was a lot of sweat and I was also scared, I have to admit. Certainly, because you never know what the future will bring. You're a new singer and replacing one of the best singers in the world. I was aware of that. It was a tough time. On the other hand, it felt like playing lottery a little bit, and as if playing lottery would be your biggest hobby. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know, I gotcha.
Playing the lottery, and with Waiki, it was pretty easy to sit down and write all the songs for the Master of the Rings album in a very short period of time. I have to admit, this was like three weeks for songwriting. So certainly we had some ideas lying around left and right, but you can imagine that you actually have to put in a lot of work to arrange an album in 3 weeks, even when ideas are already there. So during these days, during these weeks, I did not even have time to think about what I'm actually doing here. So I was just a musician and doing my hobby, writing songs, great songs that kicks your ass, certainly, when you realize, okay, there's some good stuff going on here.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you see yourself in the studio. In the studio, then you don't have time to think about, will this have success or whatever. You have your music, you know what you record, and you just give it a try. It's just, I say, it's like a ticket in the lottery, and you just want to prepare it as good as possible. It's not only your life, it's not only your profession, it's your hobby. You started it out as a hobby, and I think that's the main part. If you can keep that up to see it as your hobby, then I think success is nearly guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
I think people who actually jump on trains because they follow this or that style of music just for success, for the sake of success. I mean, these people don't have fun. It's not their hobby anymore, because you start out your hobby because you make your favorite music.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very happy or very fortunate actually, that I was able to always write the songs I wanted. And that actually helped me a lot during the Master of the Rings days. Like, being new singer of Helloween actually just popped up really like in my mind when it came to preparing for the tour. I said, oh fuck, now I have to replace this great singer, Michael. I cannot do it in his way because I'm definitely not that kind of voice. So I had to find my way around it. It was not easy at all. And I'm just happy that he's in the band now. I never need to sing his songs again. So
yeah. It's interesting because you're one of the few people that sounds a lot different than the previous singer in a band, and the band was very successful still. If you look at the matter of history, I mean, how many bands, think of how many bands change singers, and then suddenly, people just aren't a fan. The old one comes back, which he kind of came back. Now there's both of you, but it lasted. I mean, honestly, you've been in this band now for over 30 years, and you were able to overcome that, where not many people are able to overcome, something like that, where, you come in, you're a different sounding singer. A lot of people don't accept it, but with you, it basically became accepted for the most part.
Yeah. Well, this is something I personally could never influence. I mean, the only thing I have to say, I was fortunate to probably write the best songs in my time. and bring the band forward with new songs and the new voice, which is me. This is something, again, there's no recipe. The only thing I can say, I repeat myself, just do what you like best. Not do what you do best, but do what you like best, because I think at the end of the day, that will always win. And maybe that's the reason why it was accepted, because people realized, okay, they are not trying to copy themselves. They try to bring in their roots, but be something that they are nowadays, not what they used to be back in the days. Because again, I could never replace Michael Kiske. He's one of the biggest voices in that genre. So who am I to actually try to step in his shoes and be and try to be better? You can't be better. He's perfect. That's for me, like Geoff Tate and Michael Kiske. These are for me the two shining stars in that genre of vocal style. You could never be better than them.
Yeah.
Impossible. So why would I try? I mean, this would be only embarrassing. So I was maybe again stubborn. The stubbornness was good enough and big enough to actually just tell myself, well, fuck it, you go through with your own head, you know. And if it works, hooray. But even if it wouldn't work, I think your life would be hell, and you would not actually survive 5 or 6 years in that business when you try to copy someone else, which you are not. Imagine that you always would have to act on stage. I mean, I don't think that's a guarantee for success. I mean, you know.
Sure.
So again, I couldn't influence it. I just went through with what I got, and obviously and thankfully, I'm quite able to write a song or two, and that brought us forward. And now with Michael back, this is a good time to actually say hello to the old style, you know. So we may write exactly like we did back in 85, 86. The band is there again with that voice. So that's a whole different story. Now you can have a great mixture. You can have actually mix the decades. You mix Michael Kiske, you mix Kai Hansen days, you mix Andi Deris days, and there you are. Hooray! It works. Fantastic.
Hey everybody, Tony here from the Metal Command podcast. Again, I appreciate your support. Since 1998, I have hosted this show in one form or another, starting off in radio and now in the podcast format. Again, thanks for watching, and if you like what you see and hear on this show, by all means, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified anytime I do post a video, and if you see this program on any other form of social media, please give me a follow there. Again, I always appreciate your support.